flat track racing. Hard-fought competition around a 1-mile oval at speeds of 130 miles per hour. It's AMA National Championship Motorcycles, where last year there were 41 lead changes in the final 10 laps. But the only one that really counts is the last one. Magnificent day for racing here in San Jose, California, at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. Bright sunshine, temperature in the upper 70s, and this 1-mile dirt track is in great shape. Hello, I'm Steve Zabriskie, and we're here as a part of our continuing coverage of motorsports on ABC's Wide World of Sports in San Jose, California, for the AMA, American Motorcyclist Association National Championship Series. This is flat track racing, a 1-mile oval with minimal banking, and these riders will be reaching average speeds for one lap in excess of 95 miles an hour, top speeds in the straightaways in excess of 130 miles per hour. All of these bikes are 750cc motorcycles. They're all prepared essentially the same way. That makes for very tight, very competitive racing. And so the main difference will be the skill, the courage, and the experience of these riders. We have ideal conditions today with temperatures in the 70s and minimal amount of wind. The track is very fast. A large, enthusiastic crowd of over 16,000 is on hand, and they're here today to see some of the top motorcycle riders in the country. For example, Steve Eklund, the defending national champion from 1979. He's off to a slow start here in 1980, however, and he's looking to rebound this week in San Jose. Mike Kidd, the current point leader in that chase for the 1980 national title, looking to continue the torrid pace he's set so far this season. And Jay Springsteen, who won the national title 3 years in a row in 76, 77, and 78. Last year had mysterious stomach problems that limited his effectiveness. He's had some of those same problems this year. He, too, is looking to rebound here in San Jose this week. In an effort to give you an idea of just exactly what it looks like out on the track, let's go behind the scenes for a minute. We've taken Mike Kidd's helmet and equipped it, as you can see, with a couple of cameras. They're mounted at a couple of different angles so that no matter which way his head is tilted, we'll be able to see right down the track along with him. You'll get an idea of just exactly what it's like to go 130 miles an hour on a motorcycle. Corky Keener in the red uniform riding bike number 9, which is actually Jay Springsteen's backup bike, has a camera mounted on the handlebars facing backwards so that we can get a look at the traffic behind him. The other two riders out there are Ted Booty, number 12, who has a camera mounted on his outside boot down low next to the track, and Gene Romero, number 3, who's also riding. As they go around the turns, you can see there's a great deal of lean. There's Corky Keener. Now they're coming out of turn 2 and into the straightaway as they tuck down to get into a more aerodynamic position to cut down on wind resistance. Corky Keener, at age 34, is one of the oldest riders out there. In fact, he is the oldest in the competition today.
San Jose it's become more of a legend type of race than just another race on the circuit. It's become kind of a happening, you might say.
Amazing how close they race to each other at speeds of 130 miles an hour down these straightaways. Mike Kidd may be only 26 years old, but he's really a veteran and a successful rider who really has an idea of good riding technique.
Well, this falls under the category of probably Grand National stock cars because we draft just like the stock cars. We have to pull in behind the rider, get in a dead draft, pull out and slingshot. And I think you'll see a lot of that today in the heat races, the semis, and the main event. And the rider that's used to the mile and knows how to use the draft will take advantage of it.
Now that you have an idea of what it looks like from the rider's point of view, we'll be back with the real thing in just a minute. We're ready now for the start of a qualifying heat. This will be 10 laps. 12 riders are entered, and only the top 3 will advance to the 25-mile final, which will eventually see a field of 16. This is Gary Scott, number 5, from Springfield, Ohio. And this is a late entry Bill Schaefer, number 96. Number 15 is Garth Brow, 21 years old, the Rookie of the Year in 1977. Number 9, Jay Springsteen, back on his own bike, number 9. Springsteen at 23, already a 3-time national champion. 2 rows of 6 riders, 10 laps. Only the top 3, remember, will advance to the final. And very quickly, it's 96 Bill Schaefer and number 5 Gary Scott taking the lead in turn 1. Scott coming from the back row to take the lead. down the backstretch. They'll get in that aerodynamic tuck as Terry Poovey, number 18, moves to the inside and overtakes Scott to take the lead on the backstretch. Terry Poovey, number 18, sliding through turn number 4. Only 21 years of age, has the lead here as we complete lap number 1. It's Poovey, Gary Scott, and number 15, Garth Brow, has moved up into third place. Garth Brow down to the inside line to take the lead as we begin lap number 2. Garth Brow, also only 21 years of age. Putting the power on now down the straightaway. His bike appears to have a little bit more horsepower as he gets a little bit more of a lead. Going into turn number 3 on lap 2. Gary Scott in second place. Jay Springsteen now has moved up in third place. Springsteen taking the outside lane and actually laying that rear tire way out. Number 15, Garth Brow. Number 5, Gary Scott. Number 9, Jay Springsteen. Number 18, Terry Poovey. As we complete the second lap. Remember, this is a 10-lap or 10-mile qualifying heat. The top 3 riders will make it into the 25-mile final. Garth Brow still with the lead, but now Jay Springsteen, number 9, comes by him on the backstretch. Springsteen already in this race has let it be known that he's going to let it all hang out in the corners as he's made his move on the turns. Garth Brow, however, with the horsepower coming up on as they go into turn number 3. Springsteen again way on the outside, leading them through turn 4 as we complete the 3rd lap of racing in this 10-lap heat. We're just now completing 6 laps of this 10-mile race. Jay Springsteen, number 9, has the lead, but Garth Brow, number 15, overtakes him. It's still Terry Poovey overtakes Garth Brow. Terry Poovey, 18, Garth Brow, 15, and Jay Springsteen, number 9, have been pretty much in control the entire heat. Number 13, Randy Goss, has moved up into 4th place as we are in the 7th mile of racing. Jay Springsteen going to the outside and taking the lead again. Springsteen letting it all hang out on the turn, and Randy Goss, number 13, was way out on the outside line. Sliding those bikes around the corner at in excess of 75 miles an hour, now reaching speeds of near 130 on the straightaway. Garth Brow continues to show more horsepower now as we complete lap 7. We're in lap 8. Just a little less than 2 laps to go. Terry Poovey, number 18, has the lead over Garth Brow, number 15. Poovey getting a little bit out of shape as perhaps somewhat of a rut is developing coming out of turn number 2. Poovey, Brow, and Springsteen again going after each other down the backstretch. A reminder, coming up tomorrow here on ABC, more motorsports and the greatest motorsport event in the world, the Indianapolis 500. Same-day coverage here on ABC tomorrow. Incidentally, it will not be seen in the Indianapolis area. We still have the same 3 riders fighting for the lead. Garth Brow, 15, Terry Poovey, 18 in the blue helmet, a little bit out of shape in turn 2. And number 9, Jay Springsteen, as they head out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway here with less than 2 laps to go. Poovey now once again coming down on that inside line, inside of the normal groove to take the lead. Springsteen battling for 2nd place. Randy Goss, number 13, moving in tightly in 4th place. We have 4 riders very tightly bunched fighting for those top 3 positions as we go to the final lap. Again, Garth Brow, 15, goes down to the inside to take the lead in turn 1. Garth Brow, Terry Poovey, Jay Springsteen, and Randy Goss. 1, 2, 3, and 4 as they head into the backstretch. Poovey now takes the lead. Garth Brow holds up his hand. Something has apparently happened to his bike as he's dropping way back very quickly. Springsteen passing him and moving into 3rd place. Randy Goss, number 13, has moved into the lead. Terry Poovey is 2nd as Garth Brow has dropped out of it now. Randy Goss, Terry Poovey, and Jay Springsteen, 1, 2, and 3 as they head for the finish line. These 3 riders will move on to the final. Randy Goss, number 13, Terry Poovey, number 18, and Jay Springsteen, number 9, will move in with 13 other riders into the 25-mile final. There is the rear tire of number 15, Garth Brow's motorcycle. Apparently, that tire blew on the backstretch about 1/2 mile from victory after Brow had led the majority of this qualifying heat. He will not be in the final. And we'll be returning here to San Jose later today for that final, which will also feature names like Mike Kidd and Hank Scott. It should be a great 25-mile event. Welcome Welcome back to the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds in San Jose, California. This is Steve Zabriskie, where we're getting ready for the start of the big 25-mile final. There are lots of motorcycle riders here today, some more attractive than others. There will be 16 riders in this final event. On the outside in the first row will be number 13, Randy Goss, who won the earlier qualifying heat. And he, like all the riders, is happy to talk about the event.
It's going to be a close race. I think everybody's got their bikes going so good that it's the guy that thinks the best and rides the best and doesn't make any mistakes.
Also in the front row, number 14, Hank Scott, 25 years old and the winner at Sacramento 2 weeks ago.
We kind of wait to the last lap to see what everybody's doing, but in the meantime, you test each other.
On the inside of the first row, 72, Mike Kidd, the current overall point leader in the standings going into this event at San Jose.
Last year, out of 25 laps, we had 52 lead changes between 5 riders.
And number 9, Jay Springsteen with 25 career wins.
Myself, I like the mile racing because of the speed and the thrill of it, you know. I really like going fast myself.
Again, we have a crowd in excess of 16,000 on hand under ideal weather conditions. Temperature now hovering near the 80-degree mark. The track is well packed after a day of qualifying racing. Number 44 there is Alex Jorgensen, who had some problems with a knee injury last year, missed a lot of racing, but has really come on this year to have his most productive season. He's currently 3rd in the overall point standings. 72, Mike Kidd on the inside of the first row as the 16 riders get ready. Remember, these are all 750cc motorcycles, all expertly prepared, very evenly matched. The difference will be the skill, experience, courage of these riders, and they are the best motorcycle riders in the country today. Waiting for the green light on the start of the 25-mile final. And they're underway. Mike Kidd got a very bad start. Scott Parker, number 11, has jumped out to the early lead. Parker, only 18 years of age, the youngest rider in the competition. And now Alex Jorgensen, number 44, has overtaken him in turn 2. Coming out on the backstretch, it's Jorgensen, Parker, and Jay Springsteen, number 9, in 3rd place. Tucking down in that aerodynamic position, trying to get up to around 130 miles an hour on the straightaway. Springsteen going to the outside wide, as he did in one of the earlier qualifying heats. But it's still Jorgensen and Parker battling for the lead. Coming down the home stretch as they complete lap 1. Parker in the lead, Springsteen 2nd, Jorgensen 3rd, Randy Goss number 13 in 4th. Jorgensen overtakes him in turn number 1. Alex Jorgensen, remember, having his most productive year on the tour and leading here on lap number 2. Jorgensen, Parker, Randy Goss has now moved up into 3rd place. With the angle of the sun in the late afternoon behind the drivers on the backstretch, you might have a little bit of trouble picking up the numbers on the front of their motorcycles. We'll try to identify them for you as best we can. Scott Parker and Alex Jorgensen battling for the lead down the home stretch. Randy Goss has moved up into 3rd, Jay Springsteen 4th, as we are into lap number 3. Jorgensen and Parker very close to each other on the turn as Jorgensen went down to the inside and now takes the lead coming out of turn 2. Passes him as they go into turn 3 on the inside line. You can really see now the rubber that's been laid down in that groove as they slide through the corner, hitting that rear tire outside and controlling that bike at somewhere near 75 miles an hour. As we complete the 3rd lap of racing, number 11, Scott Parker still in the lead. Alex Jorgensen, number 44, 2nd. Randy Goss, number 13, is in 3rd place. Jay Springsteen, number 9, is challenging for 3rd and 4th. The lead has changed hands many times, and we're seeing very tight, very exciting competitive racing as Hank Scott has the lead for the first time. Randy Goss, number 13, in 2nd. Jay Springsteen, number 9, is in 3rd. Hank Scott, 25 years old, from Findlay, Ohio. Won the event 2 weeks ago in Sacramento. He's the younger brother of Gary Scott, number 5, who is also racing here this afternoon. Scott has the lead going into lap number 11. And 2 weeks ago in winning that race at Sacramento, he came all the way from back in the pack, all the way around to win it. I asked him before the race how he was able to do it.
Well, 3 years ago, I was born again into Jesus Christ, and There's no doubt in my mind that he did it. It wasn't me. And you just don't win a mile from dead last on a mile without some help. And he did it. I just rode through there like someone had a hand on me, guided me around the racetrack. And, well, look, I've been praying, and I hope it again. If it be God's will, let it be done today.
And Hank Scott has the lead as we complete lap 11. Randy Goss in second, Jay Springsteen in third. Now they go a little bit farther to the outside, taking a little bit more of an outside line to avoid where the track has been chewed up there in turn number 2. Hank Scott lengthening his lead on the backstretch. Scott has been very hot lately, has 6 straight top 10 finishes in the series. Springsteen in second, Randy Goss now in third. As we come out of turn 4 to complete 12 miles of racing in this 25-mile final. Hank Scott, Jay Springsteen, Randy Goss, Alex Jorgensen, and Scott Parker has moved back up into 4th place. Springsteen going wide, and all the riders. Hank Scott went right over that place in the track that's chewed up and almost got out of shape going into turn 2. As in all forms of motorsports, there is a perfect groove or line on the racetrack that you want to take. The reason for that is to maintain as much speed as you can through the turn and to be in a perfect position coming out of that turn to set yourself up for the straightaway to get the maximum speed there. Unfortunately, that place in turn 2 that is badly chewed up is causing the riders to change that line and may have an effect as the racing goes on and could cause a little bit more contact and closer racing through the turn than they would like. As we go into lap 14, Springsteen jumps out to the lead as again they go wide to avoid the section of track. Hank Scott is now in second place. Randy Goss still holding third, number 13. And there you can see the drafting technique as number 14 Hank Scott gets right in behind Springsteen and then slingshots right past him to take the lead going into turn number 3. Again, those two riders very close to each other. And if you were with us earlier, you heard Mike Kidd talk about how that drafting technique is very similar to that used in Grand National stock car racing. As we complete lap 14, Hank Scott has the lead. Springsteen and Goss right on his tail, however, as those three seem to be in control right now. Springsteen to the outside line takes the lead in coming into turn number 2. Incidentally, defending national champion from '79, Steve Eklund, did not make it into the final, and the current overall point leader, Mike Kidd, has had some engine problems and has dropped back in the race a couple of laps. Randy Goss, number 13, takes the lead away from Springsteen going down into turn 3. It's Goss, Springsteen, and Hank Scott. And we'll return to San Jose in just a moment. Goss, Jay Springsteen, Hank Scott, and Ricky Graham, these four riders battling for it as we're now in lap 23. Hank Scott coming to the inside has taken it away in second place away from Jay Springsteen, as Springsteen got a little bit out of shape coming out of turn 2, and Hank Scott capitalized on it to move into second place. Now he's drafting on Goss, and looks like he might take him. He does, going down into turn number 3. Hank Scott back in the lead. Scott, Goss, Ricky Graham, and Jay Springsteen has dropped back into 4th. Alex Jorgensen has come on to take 5th place. Hank Scott back in the lead as we complete lap 23. Randy Goss in 2nd. Ricky Graham, number 41, going down on the inside, coming inside, challenging Goss for 2nd place, but Goss comes back to overtake him. Hank Scott lengthening his lead out of turn 2 now in lap 24. Just a mile and a half from victory. All three riders now battling for 2nd place as Goss, Springsteen, and Graham jockey for position going into turn 3. Springsteen again takes the outside line. 14, Hank Scott with the lead. Springsteen comes out in 2nd place. Ricky Graham going to the outside, trying to overtake Goss. Here we go with the white flag, the final lap. Hank Scott with a comfortable lead, and now 4 riders are battling for 2nd place. Springsteen is in 2nd, number 9. 41, Ricky Graham. Springsteen got out of shape again, and Ricky Graham took him on the inside for 2nd. Hank Scott coming down now with a comfortable lead with 1/2 lap to go to victory, but the big battle is for 2nd place, and possibly 3rd as well. Springsteen on the outside, Ricky Graham on the inside. Alex Jorgensen and Randy Goss also in there. Ricky Graham going to the inside, takes 2nd place away from Springsteen as we go into turn number 4 of the final lap. Just a quarter mile from the finish. Hank Scott for 14 will win it. He has the lead. Here comes Scott with the battles for 2nd. Springsteen holding on. And it's number 44, Alex Jorgensen, coming out of nowhere to nip Ricky Graham for 3rd place. So Hank Scott wins it, number 14, with an average speed of 94.406 miles per hour. 9, Jay Springsteen is 2nd. 44, Alex Jorgensen finishes 3rd.